Hi, your inner wisdom channel is about accessing and tapping into your own inner wisdom and getting guided by it. There are so many gurus out there right now, and if you are anything like me, then you probably followed and read and attended seminars of so many gurus, coaches, and trainers to get guidance, to figure out your lives. But the thing is that we have infinite wisdom right between our two ears. It's all within us. And so while we are following everybody else, what we're ignoring is that, our own inner wisdom. So this channel is to encourage myself and you to start following your own North Star and start following your own inner wisdom. How to do that? The way that I found helpful for myself, since my background is in finance. I worked as an investor and fintech entrepreneur for 15 years. And that basically is to say that I've always been very rational. And I ignored that tiny inner voice for the longest time. And what I found helpful, however, was this past life regression therapy. Why? Because during a regression, you basically listen to yourself. It's a kind of conversation with your subconscious or with your high self, if you will. So you talk to yourself, essentially, and you get a new perspective on your current issue, the issue that you're dealing with, through this conversation, imaginary conversation with your own psyche and with that inner wisdom. And I've always found it very, very helpful, and especially since during a regression session, I don't just find out the information about like, oh, you should look at it from this way. For example, my first regression turned out to be about disowning love. At the time, I had a massive, massive, massive heartbreak. I fell in love for the first time, and imagine I fell in love for the first time when I was 30-ish, and that was just devastating. So nothing could help. No amount of alcohol, shopping, and sex therapy could numb me enough from that pain. And so I finally figured, okay, I need help. And coincidentally, like pretty much at the same moment, a colleague of mine from the hedge fund that I was working at the time handed me this book called Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. And so after I read it, and it was talking about this regression therapy, I was like, okay, I gotta do it ASAP. So within a week, I had my first regression session, and I was going in without any expectations, and frankly skeptical, because I did not think that I could remember a past life or see anything. But to my surprise, I really did it very easily, and I actually saw like a movie. And not only did I see it like a movie on a movie screen, but I also felt all the emotions of that person that I saw myself as. And guess what I saw? I saw exactly the story where I disowned love, because the person I loved cheated on me and broke my heart. And so I figured, why love? Why bother if even when I love this much, the person does not reciprocate and you cannot get love back? And so the new perspective that I got from myself was that, well, wait a second, how is that love? How is that unconditional love if I had at least one major condition that the person has to be loyal to me? So that's not conditional anymore. There's a string attached right there. And instead, why don't you take responsibility and own your feelings. And if you love somebody, love them no matter what, whether they reciprocate or not, because it's you, your feelings, and you cannot hold a person hostage to your feelings. And plus, what I also saw in that regression, which was very powerful for me, was that actually when you shut off love, when you disown love, you cannot love yourself either. It's not, I love myself, I just don't love anybody else. No, it's binary that way. And so what I realized is that disowning love was at the very root cause of all my emotional issues that I was dealing with at the moment. And at the time, even before that heartbreak, I was living on an emotional roller coaster. Oh my God. Yes, professionally, I was doing great, phenomenally, in fact. But personally, I was suffering from bulimia. I was drinking a lot. I was doing all sorts of things just to distract myself from the turmoil that I was feeling on the inside. And self-loathing was unbearable. I was not enough. I was not enough. I was not pretty enough. I was not successful enough. I was not funny enough. I was not graceful enough. The list was going on and on and on. And the inner critic was just so harsh. I cannot even describe it. And so with regression therapy, after that, I started doing it consistently. I really managed to unwind all of this insecurity by essentially tapping into my inner wisdom. But even though it helped me in the most profound way, like no other therapy did, I still did not think of it as, oh, this is my inner wisdom and I should rely on it for guiding my life. Not until I started doing these regression sessions for other people. And when people were sharing just amazing bits and nuggets of wisdom during their regression sessions, that I saw, wow, this is so amazing. Why do we rely on other people's ideas for guidance if we are so wise within ourselves? And so this is how your inner wisdom was born. And so this channel, I wanted to serve as an inspiration, as encouragement for you to stop relying on other people's ideas and opinions and start accessing and tapping into and developing your relationship, if you will, with your own inner wisdom, your intuition, that tiny inner voice, your feelings, and basically everything that makes you you. So in this channel, I will be sharing resources that either I create from my own regressions or regressions that I do for other people, or any other resources that I find helpful along the way that also lead to the same. So stay tuned and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.